It's summertime now in Israel, and it is hot. And that is why Israelis are flocking to the beach all along the Mediterranean rim of this country. And the beach that I go to reminds me every single time of the miracle of the modern day return of the Jewish people to the land of Israel. How? Let me explain. Shalom, my friends. This is the Kiva Grace with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. Let's just first of all focus on the fact that Israel has a pretty long coastline for such a small country. From all the way from the Lebanese border to the border between Israel and Gaza, there are beautiful beaches stretching the coast all the way from Ashkelon, Ashdod, of course, the Tel Aviv area, up into my area, which is the area of Caesarea. In between Tel Aviv and Caesarea, you have Herzliya, you have Netanya, and further up the coast towards Atlit, Haifa, Akko, and finally Nahariya, which sits right on the Lebanese border. And there's beautiful and many different kinds of beaches, each with their own kind of feel and flair and flavor. The beach that I go to, which is literally a 9-minute drive from my house, reminds me all the time, every single time I go there, and I've been there literally hundreds of times, of the miracle of the modern day return of the Jewish people to the land of Israel. How is that so? How does a beach do that? Because the beach that I go to is in a city called Cesaria or Caesarea. It might ring a bell. Today it's a beautiful modern day Israeli city with gorgeous homes. Many, many wealthy Israelis live there. And in ancient times, this was the Roman capital in the land of Israel. After they took over control in the first century BCE, they set up eventually their capital in Caesarea right on the coast. And eventually when King Herod took over as king, in 37 BCE, he started building all kinds of incredible architectural feats around the country, in Masada and in Jerusalem, and in Hebron, and in other places, including Caesarea. He created literally an artificial port. He created a port where one didn't naturally exist there. He built a palace that stretched right out into the ocean waters. It was a beautiful, beautiful city. It was a mixed Roman and Jewish city. And again, it was the capital city. And as the population of the city grew and grew and swelled, the local wells were not enough to provide the city with water, and they needed to bring water from far away. And so King Herod built an aqueduct to bring water in from relatively nearby springs, still kilometers and kilometers away. And he built an aqueduct to bring the water all the way from there to Caesarea. A couple hundred years later, as the population grew and grew, they needed even more water. And so under King Hadrian, or Emperor Hadrian, I should say, another parallel aqueduct was built. And that's why if you go to the aqueducts today that still remain on the beach, you'll see that it's a double aqueduct. You see one right next to the other. It looks like one big one, but it's actually two smaller ones attached to one another. And so these aqueducts provided water to the city for over 1,200 years, right, under different rulers and emperors and empires and all of that. But they functioned for a very, very long time. And then they fell into disuse, and some of them got destroyed, and some of them got covered by sand. And then you enter into the modern day time. Zionism, the Jewish people return. Millions of Jews live once again in the land of Israel, and Israelis during the hot days of summer flood to the beaches in order to cool off in the Mediterranean waters. And where I go to do that, you can see the aqueduct. All along the stretch of the beach that I go to, you can see the Roman aqueduct from thousands of years ago. It's an amazing thing. It's an incredible thing to see. And it's an incredible feat that it's still standing in many places, in many parts. Now, what does this symbolize to many Israelis like me? We know that the Romans, they tried to destroy us. They tried to not only defeat us in our land, but to get rid of the Jewish people. In fact, at the end of the Great Revolt, which ended in 70 CE, which saw a Roman victory over the Jewish fighters and the destruction of Jerusalem, they printed a new coin called Judea Capta, which means Judea is captured. Right? They thought that this was the end of the Jewish people. No more. They're going to go to exile. They'll be forgotten. That's it. Right? We had another plan. God had another plan. And 2,000 years later, we came back and we found the remnants of the things that they built in this land, including the Aqueduct on the beach in Caesarea, where I and many other Israelis go to swim throughout the hot days of summer. It's an amazing thing to just go to have fun, recreation, enjoying the beach, and constantly be reminded of the ancient past and the miracle of the return of the Jewish people back to their homeland. All the best, my friends, and be well.